Oh, what's going on?
How you doing?
Doing pretty good. Doing all right.
That's good to hear. I
How's it? What's that?
I've been busy.
Yeah.
Busy, 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 no end in sight.
Yeah, I know how that can be.
Uh, Fortunately, it's almost over.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, the person I basically, one of my bartenders had a baby and 3 months of maternity leave.
Hello, this is Kenoshi Abominito here with another episode of Project Console, Coasting. Before we get started, I'd like my panelist member to introduce himself.
Yay, it's me, Mr. Red Fox, owner proprietor of BS Busters. Glad to be on another cast. Hello.
Hello. Well, um, so we had some of the biggest waste of times happen last Thursday. Uh, we're gonna start with the first waste of time.
What,
Uh, Nin-
PlayStation?
no, Nintendo.
Okay, alright, fair,
So
fair.
that direct was something else. I don't know if you saw the stuff after the fact or ended up watching the direct.
I did not
Um,
watch the direct because I knew, like, how can I put this? I know that Nintendo is winding down on their Switch,
yeah,
and so they're not going to have anything too big or surprising on that system
yeah,
because they're going to save it for their next hardware launch.
yeah, yeah.
So
So
therefore, you know,
yeah,
I'm like, okay,
so everything I predicted came true. Essentially, it's like expect smaller stuff and expect remakes. And what do we get? We got smaller stuff and we got remakes. So
well, the stuff that I'm really excited about, they didn't even talk about.
yeah,
Like, they didn't even talk about, what was it? They didn't even talk about like Bacon Kato's. That came out on the 15th of last week.
yeah,
Uh, 1 and 2. And what they show. Look, listen. Okay, I like Super Mario RPG. The
yeah,
surprise of Super Mario Thousand Year Door getting a remake, which really they just took those assets and put in a new engine. Um, listen. To me, that's the best Paper Mario game they've ever made.
yeah,
Like, they have never made a better Paper Mario game. So there's some good shit in there, okay? But like, if you're expecting hard hitting 4 quadrant, like, this was a very niche direct. It
yeah,
was it was to hit a certain audience, hardcore Nintendo fans like me who like stuff like that, and then a few of the audiences that Nintendo feels like they haven't really been paying attention to. So Super Princess Peach is probably for little girls because
yeah,
Nintendo knows demographically little girls aren't really, maybe not their biggest audience. I don't know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, and that was Thousand Year Door was a nice surprise. Um, you know,
Melody of what?
I said Thousand Year Door was a
Oh,
nice
oh yeah.
surprise.
It was like an apology. It's like we know this was some bullshit, but here.
Yeah,
It's like, yeah, I know.
yeah. But let's see. Let's crap. Let me show what they showed at the direct. So yeah, obviously we talked about Super Mario RPG. Some of the stuff that they're adding looks pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Um, See, obviously the big surprise that at least saves the direct for me was Thousand Year Door, and then a game I do like. I'm not mad that it was here. I'm not mad that they're remaking it. Was Mario versus Donkey Kong. Uh,
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
the I like that game.
Yeah,
Um,
but is it a remake of the original, like Donkey Kong '93? That like the first four levels on the Game Boy, you're like, oh, this is just a remake of the original Donkey Kong, and then the game opens up, and you're like, oh shit, no, this is something completely different. But I like it.
yeah,
Um,
Mario. This is the GBA version.
the
Mar-
GBA one, okay. So it's
yeah,
basically March of the Minis. It's the Mario Mini thing.
it's kind of it's it goes off the premise that Donkey Kong stole a bunch of Mario toys and had to get him back. Had to try to get him back. He stole.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I remember getting this was one of the games that they gave to you in the ambassador program, and I played a little bit of it. It's like, yeah, this is a fun little
Fine.
puzzle
Yeah, it's
game.
a nice
Yeah,
time waster.
yeah. Um, let's see. Apparently they are not porting, but remaking a DS game I never heard of. This is obviously a niche game. Another code recollection. So apparently this was a DS game. The first one came out globally, but the second one never left Japan. But they're remaking the second one, so it's a 2-in-1 game. Apparently, it's about this girl that is in search of her father, ends up on this mysterious island in directions of her father to see what happened to him. Um,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. I was
Yeah,
seeing if you
that's right.
haven't.
I'm like, all right.
Yeah. You never heard of this
Okay.
game? Never heard of another code?
No.
No.
And
Fine.
here's the
Okay.
thing. I have a large DS collection. I may have probably heard about this game coming out, but the fact that the first game was localized and the second game wasn't tells you how well that first game did.
Yeah, it's you because I know how aware you are of niche things, so I figure it's something you would have been
No,
aware of.
no. The thing about the DS, just like the Wii and the Game and the Wii, the DS, the PlayStation, the PS2, there are a ton of games for those systems that came out and left like you would never, unless you are ultra niche or really into that specific particular franchise, you would never know it came out because it came to America. A company probably, a publisher probably put money to get that shit localized. It bombed, and you never saw another installment here.
Yeah.
Now it maybe stayed strong in Japan, but here it didn't do shit. I probably remember seeing that game in a gaming magazine or seeing it advertised, like maybe in a magazine, because it wasn't there was no commercials for it probably, but just like hey, another code. Or I went to GameStop and they had the shit on the shelf, and I was like, no, just
Yeah.
kept it moving.
Yeah.
Or sorry, not GameStop, EB Games, because
EB
this is
games.
before, this is back in the day, because
Yeah.
you know,
I remember EB games.
I liked
Too
EB
bad.
Games.
Yeah.
EB
Too
Games
bad they
wasn't
were
great,
devoured.
but
Yeah.
compared to GameStop, shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, Princess Peach Showtime. So I don't know. I get a lot of Kirby. I get a lot of Kirby vibes from this game for some reason. Just
but not
I
in a
guess.
good way.
Uh, yeah, I would say that. It just seemed like they were like, let's make a Kirby game except with Princess Peach. It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
I
okay,
mean,
okay, I guess. I guess
the
that might work.
thing that bothers me about it is why don't they try and make like why do they think that because it stars a female character that they have to make a more casual experience?
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know. Maybe this is just a
Like
way
little
to.
girls don't want to play hard ass games. I've seen women. So look, some of the most hardcore gamers I've seen are women.
Yeah.
Like they play some stuff because hardcore doesn't mean the genre. Hardcore means the amount of dedication that the player puts into completing objectives. Someone who plays Pokemon Go hardcore is way more hardcore than someone who's playing Call of Duty every once 2 or 3 hours every week.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. That's the thing. I don't know. Maybe I have no idea. I don't think this game is coming out till next year. Um, so maybe they'll show more of it, but it looks like a pretty simple run of the mill premise for just you play as Princess Peach and you go to like a play and you take on certain costumes within that play and they give you certain abilities. I think that's where the Kirby vibe comes into it. Not to mention
Or,
this whole
traditional
super
Super Mario where he's got different outfits that give him different abilities.
ability. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it looks interesting to me. I just wish there's a little bit more going on than what they showed. um,
Yeah.
I don't know. Detective Pikachu, I could really care less about this game.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean, really, I'm like, why haven't you done a second movie? I really don't give a shit about the games.
yeah, yeah.
Not
Um,
unless they're gonna have Danny DeVito do the voice of Detective Pikachu, where he's like, "Hey kid, we gotta. Why can't you do a Thunder Shock?" Well, about that. See, like, I could either have learned to talk or learn Thunder Shock. So, I found the ability to talk more useful. So, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, kid, that's right.
yeah.
What about the other Pikachu? Oh, you want to know the truth? He's retarded. He can't read. That's all. Look, you think he's saying Pokemon talk when he goes Pika Pika? No, literally, that's all he says. Even when we're talking to him, he just says Pika Pika. No one understands him except for his little special needs trainer. Okay, that was insensitive of me. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm going to stop now.
Yeah, don't want the YouTube police to.
They might
Anyway,
cancel me. I'm sorry.
so another remake, Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, coming to the 3DS. I kind of wish they put Kid Icarus on the Switch just because the controls,
Better
controlling that game,
controls.
yeah, controlling that game on 3DS is a pain in the ass.
Yeah,
That game
unless it's the
deserves
new
better.
3DS, it's a little bit better
Yeah,
with the new
yeah,
3DS. But the original, yeah. Unless you get that weird controller side controller, because they knew that the 3DS had control issues, and they put it out anyway because they were like, well, we're Nintendo. We always just we go with what we got with our technology.
yeah, yeah. I kind of have a feeling that game was. I kind of have a feeling that game started off as something else, and they decided, we're just gonna put this
Yeah,
on the 3DS instead.
yeah, because they
Probably
were like
started
the
off as a
3DS.
Wii game, and
Yeah,
then
the
they were like,
3DS has a larger install base, so we're gonna go with. I mean, look, man, I'm not gonna cast aspersions on, you know, I'm not going to get mad about them, porting something over and trying to make more money because they are a business. I'm not a big Luigi's Mansion fan.
Yeah.
But I know there are people who are. They're like, I love Luigi's Mansion. It's the best. I'm not one of those people, but I know people who are. They love Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was cool seeing out on the GameCube that 15-minute tech demo. You seriously beat that game in probably like 2 hours. The original Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah, that's my problem with Luigi's Mansion is that it's very oversimplified. Like it's a really easy game. It's beaten in a very short period of time, and I don't like if I'm gonna play a video game, I want to at least to be able to put at least between 15 to 30 hours into it. If it's a platformer, 15 to 20. Like I don't want something I can beat in, an afternoon, especially for at the time a $49.99 game. That was AAA at the time, $50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cheap compared to what they're charging for games today.
Yeah, because they keep on saying, "Oh no, it's expensive to make games." Well, that's not my problem. Like, it's not as a consumer, it is not my problem that they don't know how to price their games properly to make a profit.
Yeah.
That's like it's like if you're a business owner, someone says, I'm not making money. That is not the consumer's problem.
Yeah. F-Zero 99. So F-Zero 99 essentially is like Mario 35 and Tetris 99, just have everybody on the track, and the last one to survive the race or win the race is the winner. They added a lot of new tricks. The art style is slightly different. Basically looks like the SNES version of that game.
Combined with the GBA.
Combined with the GBA. Looks like a fun time waster. I have yet to try it out. I might give it a shot.
I mean, if you're a hardcore F-Zero fan, yeah, you're like, they didn't do a new one.
Yeah, I was not even just do a new one. I was just at least hoping for like a remake or a re-release of a GX with maybe some online play or some extra stuff. I don't know.
See, man. See. That's on you. Yeah. Look, man. That's on you. You did that to yourself. They had nothing to do with that. You did that yourself. But I get where you're coming from. I mean, look, man. Would it be cool if Nintendo did that? Yes. Would Nintendo do that? Probably not, because Nintendo has no incentive to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I'm done with these games. I hate seeing them. I hate it.
What game is this?
The WarioWare Move It.
Oh yeah, I'm tired of WarioWare. I hate the franchise. I'm like, I like Wario. I don't like this version of the character.
Yeah.
And people forget Wario originally, like the solo Wario games, like started out as like kind of like a more puzzle based platform game. Like you had to find out where the treasure was and all that shit.
Yeah.
And then over time, like it turned into more of like a Metroidvania, and eventually they took death out entirely. Like really, the big thing was how to get through a level and get enough coins and not lose all your money, because Wario's a greedy bastard.
Yeah.
And that's his big hook, is that he's a greedy bastard who likes to, like he's greedy. Because the first game, his first solo game, like after Mario kicks his ass out of his mansion that he gets in Super Mario Land 2. Like, Wario's like, well, shit, I'm going to get my own goddamn castle. and the canonical ending of that game is that Wario basically fights his way through all these pirates, kicking all these pirates' asses, eventually fighting his way up to the captain, Captain Syrup, who is a very successful pirate because she basically has a genie under her command. But here's the thing. The genie isn't just a normal genie. No, no. The genie will do whatever you want if you got enough money to pay him. So the fact that she has all of this, like this massive treasure ship, all these henchmen, like this massive army of people, plus a massive fucking castle, like this woman is insane. Okay, she's a very successful pirate. Wario kicks her ass and her genie's ass and steals all their shit. And he finally at the end of the game, he's like, yeah. He's like, the reason I did all this is because someone stole Princess Peach's solid gold statue, and it was Captain Syrup. And right when he's about to, oh man, I'm gonna steal this statue, Mario comes in with a helicopter, picks it up, and flies away with it, and waves at him like, "Yeah, thanks for doing all the work, bitch." And Mario's like, "Shit!" But he gets this lamp, and basically the genie's like, "Hey, I'll grant you one wish if you give me all the money you got." And the more money you have, the better the wish is. If you didn't find all the treasures in the first game, you get like Wario gets like a little trailer, and you see his little Wario symbol land on the trailer, and then it falls off and rolls off the screen. But if you're really good, you get a mansion, which the canonical ending is that he gets like a castle, and that's where the second game picks up, where Captain Syrup gets a revenge, busts into his castle, steals his shit, and floods the basement. Like, they have this feud, him and Captain Syrup. However, if you cheated like I did when I first played that game and did the big money trick and max out all your coins, Wario doesn't get a castle. He doesn't get a mansion. He gets a planet. He gets Wario World. So my point is this. Wario was a cool character, but Nintendo they're like, why should we have to make an actual game when we can just make these mini game collections, which are cheap. Anytime a game developer makes a mini game collection, they are saving money.
Yeah.
Okay? Because a mini game is cheap. You don't have to do a lot in order to make a mini game collection. It's just it's a bare minimum, low effort, And here's the thing, right? If you're an indie developer and you do a mini game collection, that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. But whatever.
Yeah, I don't. I'll play Mario Party before I play the WarioWare game. I don't know. These games have never seemed interesting to me. It's not the.
I mean,
It's not even that I'm against party games. It's just I just feel like it's just a bunch of nonsense just thrown together.
the first WarioWare I enjoy. I'm not gonna lie. I do like the first WarioWare. The second WarioWare, not a huge fan of. Like the first WarioWare isn't something I would play for long periods of time, but just every once in a while, it's like, oh, this is nice.
Yeah.
I'm not against it. But the thing is like, okay, yeah, I understand. They're like, oh, WarioWare, blah 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 blah, WarioWare. But it's like there's an entire franchise they're just fucking ignoring.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. That is the problem with all of this. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course DLC. This is the last one. A few new characters are coming. You have Diddy Kong, Peachette, which I don't get the difference between Baby Peach and Peachette, but okay. Pauline, and all the Bowser characters. But yeah, that's so that's about to end. Mario Kart 9 is not coming anytime soon, so because they're just gonna re-release this game on the Switch too with all the content. So They're gonna milk this freaking franchise for milk this iteration for all it's worth. It's still like in the top 10 sales wise in various different places. It's still
Yeah,
pretty. It's pretty still high up on the charts
look,
on the
I told
eShop.
everyone. I said when they came up with this, I was like, look, man, don't um, don't rebuy something that you probably already bought. Everyone was like, no, I want to play Mario Kart. It's got the battle mode. The battle mode that should have been with the fucking base game to start with. And, you know, everyone's like, oh, no, I don't care. I want to play, blah, blah, blah. So, look, listen, you get what you get.
Yeah.
And that's the end of it. Someone tells you, hey, don't do that. Like if someone tells you, hey man, don't stick your hand in that blender. And then you're gonna complain that your hand's all fucked up because you stuck it in a blender.
Yeah.
And look, man, people tell people don't do stuff. It's like with GTA Online. Everyone's like, man, Rockstar got greedy. People told you. I know I said, do not put money into GTA Online because they will stop putting money into their single player games and just go all in on microtransactions and online shit. What the fuck happened?
Yeah.
Okay? Now, when people tell you not to do something and you do it any fucking way, and then you get mad that what you didn't want to happen happened because you did what people told you not to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't get that.
Yeah. Yeah. In any case, I don't know. Just, I guess if you really like Mario Kart, you're getting Mario Kart 8. You're getting more Mario Kart 8. But next game is Spycross Anya Operation Memories. So this is some sort of slice of life simulator game. It looks like I have no idea um, what the heck is. It's just one of those cutesy slice of life games. Maybe maybe it has a surprise dark theme in it. Like what was that? Was that game about the writing club? You know.
Oh, you mean, yeah, I know what you're talking about. The literature, the Doki Doki Literature Club, where they turn out to be solving murders and shit.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, this is darker than I anticipated. God damn, bro.
Maybe it's gonna go for that sort of thing. I don't know, but it was not. I was. I was like, yeah, this game is not for me. That is for sure. Um. Uh. Saga Emerald Beyond, which is sort of like a Octopath Traveler knockoff. Octopath Traveler premise, not premise
Well,
where you play as
yeah,
several different characters.
yeah, I wouldn't call that a knockoff, considering that the Saga franchise came out before Octopath Traveler, and it's a SquareSoft game, and a lot of those people that made Octopath Traveler, or at least like, are heavily inspired by games that were made by people who were at SquareSoft and et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, yeah, I saw what they did. They turned it into a board game, which is terrible because
Yeah, yeah. I didn't know this was an old franchise.
Oh yeah. The Saga franchise is old. It started technically the game systems that make up the Saga franchise started with Final Fantasy II, but the first official Saga game was Final Fantasy Legend. It was released here as Final Fantasy Legend, um, Final Fantasy Legend 2, Final Fantasy Legend 3, but really it's not Final Fantasy Legend. It's called Saga in Japan, and then
Mm.
they ported over to the SNES, and then the SNES and the PlayStation. Yeah, Saga's been around for multiple generations. It's just Square Enix hasn't really released a new version for years. Like I think they did re-releases on Steam last year, the year before last.
Anyway, um, Unicorn Overlord. What a weird name. It's a strategy game. It's made by Atlas, I believe. Um, see, show some gameplay.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
let's be honest though. If you had to be an overlord, isn't it better to be a unicorn overlord? I
Yeah.
mean, okay, look, either a unicorn or dragon overlord. Would you want to be a Ewok overlord, a Jawa overlord? I mean, look, unicorn overlord. That sounds kind of badass. You know, like, could you
Yeah.
imagine if you were in a fantasy setting and the big bad, world-ending bad guy is the unicorn overlord? Like you had a DM who really built it up. Like, oh shit, you done fucked up now. The unicorn overlord's after your ass. Like you go into a village, a town that's been taken out by the unicorn overlord. People are impaled on spikes and shit. They're all
Yeah.
bleeding. And guys, like, some dude's like crucified in the middle of this town square. Who did this? Who did this? Unicorn overlord. Like, god damn. Who did this? Who did such a thing?
So yeah, it's made by the two. It's made by Atlas and Vanillaware, which I've never heard of. But
Oh no, don't you know Vanillaware? They're the ones who made those 2D sprite games like Odin's forget shit. They made those 2D like basically Dark Souls before Dark Souls where
oh yeah,
like
I
you're
know.
one
I
hit
know.
and you're fucked and you had to like have the combat system. It's like Beautiful Joe but a little bit more fair.
Dragon's Crown. They made Dragon's
Yeah,
Crown.
yeah, stuff like that.
I know
Yeah,
what you're
man.
talking about.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking. Yeah. I didn't know the comment, but I've heard good things. I might actually check this game out. 'Cause it's made by Atlas, and they do pretty good stuff. And I've heard good things about Odin's Spear, and I've heard good things about Dragon's Crown. So yeah, I might check this out. Uh, Contra Operation Contra Operation Galuga, which is a remake of the
The
first
first
game.
Contra game. Yeah.
First NES game. NES game.
Yeah, man.
Looks interesting.
And guess what, man? It's a way forward coming back home because the last time they worked on a Contra game, it was the excellent Contra 4, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
So I mean, even though it's called Contra 4, it's technically a prequel to Super Contra because
Yeah.
Contra 4 for the DS essentially, the game basically essentially ends with you fighting your way to the start of Super Contra, which itself was called Contra 4 in Japan. It's confusing numbering conventions. And they have a really good remake of what's it called? Shit. Neo Tokyo City Streets on which is like the most iconic song in Contra 4, which is the first level that gets you pumped up for the rest of the game. It's like, man, this game is hard as shit, but this song is banging.
Yeah. um, Trombone Champ. This game, just another throwaway party game. Shovelware. It's essentially you're just playing a trombone somewhat badly, and you're trying to. You're trying to. Yeah, essentially, it's a trombone sort of rhythm game where you're playing the trombone somewhat poorly. Yeah, nothing. Definitely nothing to write home about.
Actually, that game is really fun on PC because you can put your own music into it and basically play really awesome shit badly, like "Never Gonna Give You," except with the trombone, and it's hilarious. Or "WAP" with the trombone. I mean, on PC it's great. On the Switch, since you're not gonna have that level of customability, you're gonna have to take what they can get.
Yeah.
But you know, It might be good, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. Classic Tomb Raider remastered. So trilogy uh, is getting remastered. Um, I don't know, haven't they already remastered these games? Wasn't there like
What
a
remastered? What games?
Tomb Raider games?
I mean,
Mm,
they've. Let me put it this way: Embracer Group bought bought Eidos Montreal, so they want to make money off of this game. I can't really say I blame them.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like you have to look, man. If you put money, like the type of money they put in this shit, they need to do something with it.
yeah, yeah. And then Prince of Persia, the Lost Crown. This game looks really good. Can't wait for it to come out. It's made by the Rayman Legends team, and it should be pretty decent. Hopefully it sells relatively well. Uh, but you know Ubisoft, you know how they are. Um,
Yeah, I mean, it looks good.
Horizon Chase 2. It's a arcade racing game. Um, it's an arcadey racing game. Looks pretty interesting. So overall, I graded this like at first I gave the direct a really low score until I saw the Sony press conference, and I graded on
Yeah,
a curve because I was like, all right,
yeah,
well,
yeah. You have to have a good comparison. It's like Nintendo was just like a lot of small things that are very niche.
yeah,
Sony's press conference on the hand was like, "What the fuck was this shit? Why'd you even have a conference? You didn't have shit to show."
yeah, yeah. So I gave it about a C plus, but you know just because after watching Sony's press conference, I was like, what a wait, what a this is several times worse than the Nintendo Direct conference. I ended up giving Sony's conference a D.
F. Oh,
Well,
okay.
more like an F.
You were you were nicer than I was.
Yeah, yeah, it was fun. All right, so we'll move on to Sony's conference. So start from the bottom this time. Um, New PlayStation 5, DualSense, DualSense colors, and consoles, or those plates that you can buy separately, so you don't have to buy a new console. You can buy plates. Uh, but
Or what I like to call it, ways that they can nickel and dime you for shit that you could have gotten cheaper someplace else, which is why they sued the company that used to sell those
yeah,
and put them out of business. Yeah, you can't sell this anymore because we want to sell it and charge you an arm and a leg for it,
yeah,
bitch.
yeah. See, yeah, people were disappointed because there's all these rumors and whatnot, which I don't know how true they are anymore. Especially since we're so close to the end of the year that there's supposed to be this big PlayStation 5 revision. Um, either PlayStation 5 Pro or this PlayStation 5 with the removable uh, disc tray. Um, and it's just like people are like, man, really? There's just new colors. I don't think they're gonna announce it this year. I think it. They're probably going to if it's real, which because of
What a
because
the PS5 Pro
yeah, the PS5 Pro revision. If it's real, they're probably
revision?
gonna announce it next year.
I
That's
mean,
probably gonna be their
they
big
have
big
no
fall revision.
incentive. They have no incentive to announce their next hardware. Like zero. Like why would they do that?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know why they would do that either. They don't really have an incentive. Uh, the PlayStation 5 is selling relatively well despite having
Supply
nothing
issues.
having
And
having really nothing. Like they like the reason one of the reasons I was a lot harder on the Sony conference was because this is your third year. Like I mean, for Nintendo, I get it. They're winding down the Switch. The Switch is, you know, damn near almost 7 years old, 6 years old. The little it's over 6 years old at this point, and you're in your third year. This is like the time to start,
Showing,
stuff
yeah,
like
good shit.
heavy hitters. It's
Like, where is Sony's Starfield?
yeah, yeah, exactly,
You know,
exactly. So it's just
where's their big game where it's like, oh shit, this is amazing. Like, where's their big games?
I know people were upset at their last conference with their with not showing factions and all this other stuff that was rumored. That was in the rumor mill. You guys people need to stop listening to rumors. You need to start. You need to stop trusting these rumors. It's like they do this all the time, where there's just like, oh, so and so said this and so said that, and it either doesn't come into fruition or part of it comes into fruition. It's like,
I agree. It basically it depends on what it boils down to is that functionally speaking, these people, you know, the people who own PlayStations are desperate to have something to play. Besides from a lot of third party multiplats. And there's a reason Sony basically got their people to sit there and be all like, "Oh man, we gotta keep Microsoft from buying Activision Blizzard," because literally Sony lives or dies by third party, like because their first party games are expensive to make, and they don't sell all as well as they think they should. Because if they did, they wouldn't be putting their shit on PC.
yeah, yeah.
Like, you don't see Nintendo. Hey guys, guess what? We gotta put our first party games on. We gotta put Mario on PC.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Um, people are mad at Jim Ryan, but a lot of the stuff. I mean, I get it. There's definitely reasons to be, but a lot of the stuff was probably being implemented before he became the new CEO too. So
Yeah, and they probably had a sunk cost fallacy where it's like we've spent so much money on this that at this point, like we have to just basically just we got to take it. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
I mean, I understand. I totally get it. The problem to me is that like the sunk cost fallacy is exactly that. It's a fallacy. Like there's sometimes you putting something out is going to cost you more long term. Is going to cost you more. Yeah, it's like, oh, we put so much R&D into this, but you put it out and it bombed spectacularly. Plus, it's going to hurt your brand. Like they're putting out the PlayStation Wii Gamepad, Wii U Gamepad,
yeah.
but it's not even as good as a Wii U Gamepad.
Nope.
I'm like, okay, like, why?
Yeah.
Why? Y'all would have done better putting it back into R&D and making it into, putting in Bluetooth so that you could use it to, like, play your games remotely. Like, it'll be like a Steam Deck Lite or some shit.
Yeah, they should
Nah,
have made it. They should have just made it into a high
except just
quality.
for PlayStation, you know?
Yeah, they should have made it into some kind of higher quality Android tablet that could, that had like special PlayStation apps, and that could allow you to, remote play from your PlayStation, and as well as be able to use Android apps. But that makes way too much sense, and over there at Sony they make dollars, not cents. So I
And
don't know.
plus, yeah, and plus you have to factor in Sony loves having their proprietary tech that's closed off and you can't do shit. Except they aren't like the thing is Sony's not like Nintendo where Nintendo has they're a walled garden, but their garden is pretty lush. Sony's garden is a whole bunch of shit you could have bought at the store at other places because it's third party stuff. Um
Hmm,
it's like I
yeah,
could only get this on Nintendo. Like Sony, it's like, oh, this is coming to everything. So why
yeah.
should I go with you?
It's like with Nintendo. It's like with Nintendo. They get a lot of crap for being very proprietary, but it's like look at a lot of their devices. Like when 3DS came out, you didn't have to rely on a special Nintendo SD card.
No, you could
For
just get any SD card you wanted. All you had to
yeah,
do was just format it, but that's just par for the course when you're using technology like that.
yeah, exactly. So
Even the Switch, you can put in any micro SD card you want.
exactly, exactly. Uh, Farm Stars Open Beta was announced. The Splatoon clone made by Square Enix. That'll probably
Looks
get shut
interesting.
down. It does look interesting.
It looks. I'll be honest with you. It looks more interesting to me than Splatoon 3 does to me.
Yeah, I can see that. It's like
Like
Splatoon shouldn't,
I
I
think
guess, be the only thing out there that does this sort of thing.
no, the thing that makes Splatoon kind of like lose its way for me is that they released like two of them almost back to back.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy how quickly 3 came out.
Like if you got a Splatoon every console generation, and you get one Splatoon, like they supported the shit out of Splatoon on the Wii U. So I'm like, okay, I can't get mad about you moving on. They supported the shit out of Splatoon. And if they just said, okay, here's Splatoon 2, we're going to support the shit out of it during the Switch's life cycle. And then once the Switch is done, the Switch has LAN support, so you can still have like tournaments and shit, your own tournaments and shit. Okay, cool. Awesome. And then the next console comes out, Splatoon 3. But it like if you inundate the market with something, it becomes less um special.
Yeah,
Like if you eat steak once every 2-3 months, steak is special. If you eat steak every week, it's like, it's steak.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, open beta. This is gonna be probably a microtransaction fest. So get ready for that. But it does look interesting. Um, I don't know if this is a PlayStation exclusive game or if this is just coming to everything else too. I don't know. I'm not sure. Um, let's see. Um, oh, Hokai Star Rail release date. Release date. Apparently, this is some kind of JRPG. Hokai Star Rail.
Yeah,
Um,
it's made by the same people who made that that other game.
what's the other game?
That game that got really big. Shit, I forgot the name of it. Damn. Here,
Genshin
let me look it up.
Impact.
Yeah. It's made by the same people who made Genshin Impact.
Okay.
So it's one of those. It's one of those games where people are like, "Oh, it's whatever, blah blah blah." It's Genshin.
Is this like a single player game or is this gonna be a
I
turn
mean, it's like
based?
Genshin Impact, where there's a lot of like,
Oh,
you know, They're like you use microtransactions to get new characters and shit. It's.
Mm. Well, I guess if you're into that.
I mean, Genshin Impact looks interesting because even though it's got a lot of microtransactions, you can still kind of like just grind and get and play the game.
Yeah,
But the problem is, no, go ahead.
It's fair. Yeah, the game's fairly popular. I've heard, halfway decent things about it. Um, so it doesn't seem to be as egregious as other stuff out there.
But that's my own personal opinion.
What was that?
That's my own personal opinion. Like I said, I don't know if Honkai Star Rail is going to be good. I know it's basically a sci-fi take on the Genshin Impact formula. Impact is more fantasy.
Yeah.
Whereas Honkai Star Rail is more science fiction.
Yeah.
But what I notice about Japan is that when they try to do science fiction, they inevitably cannot help but do
Magic. Put some magic in there.
no. Well, they fuck it up typically. Like very few. I've seen very little science fiction done by Japanese where I'm like, oh, this science fiction is amazing.
Yeah. How do they mess it? How do they screw it up?
Um, like they'll say, okay, we're gonna do a sci-fi take on shit. Let me think of something. They'll say, okay, we're gonna do a sci-fi take on like a sci-fi video game. Okay, Star Ocean. Let's use Star Ocean example. This is Star Ocean. It's science fiction. And you play, it's like, wait a second, this isn't science fiction. This is like you're just using science fiction. You're just using science fiction to as a crutch.
Yeah.
Because everything, oh, this is science fiction, but it isn't really though, right? Like you're just saying it's science fiction. It really isn't, right? Um, and that's kind of like my issue with a lot of that's kind of like my issue with a lot of you know, with a lot of Japanese video games. Like, oh, this is sci-fi, but it isn't though. It's you inevitably devolve into anime tropes or fantasy,
Yeah.
which isn't inherently bad. But I'm like, man, it would be great if I could actually see some real science fiction in a science fiction game.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be lovely? Nah, we can't do that shit. No, sir.
Baby steps. So apparently this is a. I first saw this game. It was like, um, the guy who made getting over it. Did he get a new budget? Did he get?
It looks like it. It looks like he did. He got a big budget. It looks like it because
this is this is. It reminded me of getting over it, and it reminded me of a higher budget version of getting over it. Which obviously this is going to be a game people are going to try to stream, and people are going to try to, because obviously there's like a niche community of people who perfected or seek out or have
hard as
been,
fuck games.
yeah, who who have perfected the method of beating getting over it. So I'm sure it'll be the same with this game too. So
Me personally, I don't like playing hard as fuck games.
yeah, yeah. Man, I'm not a big fan either. Um, it's just kind of like I don't have anything to prove. I'll cheat
I
a
mean,
little
I'll
bit
play a
so I
hard as
can.
fuck game, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to play a hard as fuck game.
Yeah. Avatar Frontier of Pandora. Eh, I don't know. Kind of looks okay, I guess. What do you think of it?
Are we still trying to make this into a thing? Like I
Yeah.
I saw the two Avatar movies. I was like, I'm unimpressed. But like I've never been impressed with that franchise. So when I
I
see
didn't
people
even
like, yeah, Avatar, I'm like, okay.
I didn't even know the second one came out till it actually came out. Like, when it.
No, they were talking about it. I just was like, I don't really give a shit. I mean, I no fucks
I,
were given.
I guess the people I talked, nobody was talking about that I knew. So that's probably why I never knew about it coming out. But it's a fantasy kind of action adventure game. Um, I don't know. It looks okay, I guess.
I mean, it's Avatar, man. I mean, don't you
Hell
don't you
divers.
like it?
And then there's Helldivers 2, which is names just like it looks fun to play at least to me, but the showcase that they had was just awful. Like they had that fake people playing together.
Oh, you mean like, oh, aren't we having fun? Not really. No, no, I'm not watching you
Yeah,
fake that you're playing this game.
yeah. I wish they'd just hire better actors for this stuff because every time, everybody that does this sort of thing, it's always just so terrible.
It's too fake.
Yeah, it's too fake. It's like,
It's too full of shit. It's like I
yeah,
can't take this. I can't take it. Goddamn it.
yeah. All right. I don't know why it took this long for this game to get a new DLC, but Tales of Arise Beyond the Dawn.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's a expansion DLC for
Mm-hmm.
Tales of Arise. So
I haven't finished that game yet. I
yeah,
haven't. I've maybe done maybe 10% of it.
yeah, I haven't either. um, yeah, I don't know. It's just really weird that it's coming out like what 3 4 years later. When did this game come out?
Uh, about 3 years ago, I think.
Yeah. Resident Evil 4 is getting a VR mode, and the Ada Wong DLC is also coming out as well. Um, so, yeah, that's cool, I guess.
Yeah, man. I mean, if you like the concept of, you know, if you like the concept of, you know,
Killing
uh,
zombies in first person in VR.
I mean, Ada Wong is kind of an interesting character. She's a little bit more interesting than, say, she's a little more interesting than, say,
The main game, the
some
main
of the
character.
other characters.
Yeah, yeah,
Like Ashley is useless.
yeah. Yeah, I heard the problem with Separate Ways is that it should have been part of the main story. I was talking to somebody about this a couple days ago,
Mm-hmm.
and it should have been interwoven with the same story. But they had to figure out how to sell the PS2 copies, or make the trouble of porting it on the PS2 worth it. I guess.
Of
I don't know.
separate ways of,
Separate Ways. That's the name of the That's the name of the
DLC.
Ada Wong. Yeah, Ada Wong DLC.
I mean, but to be fair, like I said, Resident Evil 4, the original, was built for the GameCube.
Yeah,
Like it was optimized for that system. So they weren't going to spend time to put a side story on the PS2.
yeah, yeah.
They just weren't going to do it.
I remember when I saw the PS2 version of that game, I was like, man, this actually looks significantly worse than the GameCube version. Um, Marvel's Marvel Spider-Man 2. Um, Updates on that. Apparently, you can switch between um, uh, Peter and Miles.
Miles.
They were going on about how you could do it seamlessly and how there's like absolutely no loading times and IO throughput or whatever it's called. It's like we've been here before, Insomniac. We've done this. You've done this trick before. You've done this magic trick before, and it was proven that it wasn't such a big deal. It's like because Ratchet and Clank came out on the PC a few months ago, and it basically found out you can run it on an HDD, and the time between loading is not as significant as they made you think it was.
Yeah, well, I mean, come on, man. We knew it was bullshit.
Yeah.
Why is everyone? Oh, I can't believe Sony lied. Look, listen. They needed something to sell PS5s.
Yeah.
They got Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah.
All right. Now I'm gonna get that game on PC. I have Windows 11. This is a Windows 11 PC with direct storage. I have the second highest tier AMD graphics card. I have 128 gigs of memory. If I can't run this shit solid and with fast loading, no one can.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Now, the fact of the matter is this, okay? Sony lied to you. Okay? Sony lied. No shit. All these companies lie. Nintendo lies, Sony lies. They all lie, okay? They're not going to do something until they think it can't make them money. And then they're going to be like, oh, shit, we got to...
What was that?
We got to change it.
Yeah. Yeah. And the last game that they showed was Final Fantasy VII Rebirth release date. And one of the interesting things is this game is not going to be a timed exclusive for very long. Apparently, it's only timed for about spring of next year. So it's only gonna be
because
exclusive for like 6 months.
Because Square Enix is losing money, and they can't afford to. Because the audience for those games is not what it used to be.
Yeah, not to mention it's like, depending on who you talk to, the remake kind of burnt some people. So it's like the sales of this game probably aren't going to be as high as they were for the first. Because I've watched people talk about how they just
Bastardized it.
yeah. There are people that's like, yeah, I really like the changes, I really like the story, and then there are people that's like, what the fuck is all of this nonsense? Why did you do this? What are you doing? But,
Problem with the game that I've noticed is that the changes that they made fundamentally changes the course of the entire franchise.
yeah.
The Final Fantasy VII franchise. Like, not having Eris die changes because Eris is the first person that Cloud actually, like, he wasn't just going off of the memories of Zack Fair. It was the
Yeah.
first choice he made himself.
Yeah.
So that fundamentally changes that game. And but Square Enix doesn't care because Square Enix is going to do what they want to do.
Well, they're making a big deal. It's like, oh, it's going to be on 2 discs as well, because that's how big it's going to be. So why even make a physical copy then? You know, if it's that big, just make it just digital. You know, just fuck it. I mean, well, a lot of these companies just put 1 disc, and the disc is the key code to download the game. This is
Yeah,
this is
I
just
mean, because it's
this
man,
is clown.
it's because it's Square Enix, and they still want to get the Japanese audience. And there's like there are ISPs in Japan that still cap your data. Like they don't sell an unlimited, um, like an unlimited. So it's like you do 500 gigs worth of whatever, and people are like 500 gigs. I'll never run through that. If you're streaming movies,
Oh, you'll run through that
doing
real
work,
fast. Yeah.
uploading and downloading things, 500 gigs, you can run out of that in 2.5 weeks. If you're being conservative.
Yeah, if you like your content 4K, you're gonna run out of that. You're gonna run through that in like a
Well,
week.
in Japan, they're not. If you're streaming something to your smartphone, which most of them are using their smartphone, it's not going to be 4K. But still, you're uploading and downloading stuff. You're looking at content. You're going to run out of shit.
Yeah.
Okay, you're going to go through that data package. So they still do have physical media. There's still places in Japan where people rent records and rent movies and rent like physical media is still a thing in Japan. I don't know why, but
It might just because it might be because of the data caps. That might be part of the reason why people probably still buy their movies physically.
I mean,
Music and
I
other
can
stuff. I don't know.
like here's the thing. I can understand why physical media is great because physical media you can do whatever the fuck you want to with it. You can take that movie, you can rip scenes from it and put it in another video as long as you're not selling it for money. You can take a sound bite and use it for something. That is cool. That is a nice, that's a nice thing. The problem is that space is an issue. Like I have 2 shelves, two library shelves, not like one level of shelves, a whole fucking bookcase filled with nothing but vinyl. Not to mention I have milk crates filled with vinyl in my basement.
Yeah.
If I lived in Japan, I would not have room for any of that shit. Unless I lived out in the suburbs or in the country. So for them, like, it's a mix between not having the technology to do certain things and also just, what's going on at the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever. I'm gonna stop talking about it.
So yeah, all in all, Sony's conference gets an F because like it is basically a retread of their last conference, and not to mention it's just like this is the 3rd year. You show up with still nothing to show. Uh, so yeah,
You
I
should be
was
you should be stepping your game up. No pun intended.
Yeah, that's that was a sad state of affairs, but that a lot of that stuff could have been a press release. So
I mean, it's just they're just like, we have no incentive to step our games up.
yeah, it's like these pieces of shit are still gonna buy our console. They're still gonna buy the games. It's,
Yeah,
it's what all their friends are on. So it's all right.
we don't care. I mean, why would we? We have no incentive.
But
We have no incentive. They have no incentive, is what it is. They have no incentive. And when you have no incentive, then it doesn't matter. It's like, oh, I don't have any incentive to fucking, put stuff down there. What? What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Why would I do that?
But speaking of massive screw ups, NBA 2K24 has stolen the
Ah,
crown
yes.
for the worst game reviewed on Steam. The 2K. What? So apparently, what happened was that they didn't even update the game. It's like it's still the same game from last year. It's just a roster update. They did nothing. On
And
PC.
people are surprised. Why?
And the
Because they did this last year too,
and the
and the year
micro
before that.
and the microtransactions are out of control in this game. Apparently, like you have to grind your ass off in order to get anywhere.
Well,
So,
not really. You could just get yourself a trainer.
I mean, yeah, you could do that. You
I
could
mean,
do
that's
that.
what I did. I got WWE 2K 2K21 or 20 for free through something, and I was like, oh, this is cool. And I got it, and I was like, oh, this is nice. And I played it. I'm like, oh, um, yeah. I'm playing it. I'm like, oh, this is pretty nice. And then I realized, oh wait, I can just. It's like, yeah, I could grind. I could grind and get all this shit, or you know what I could do? Just use a trainer, which is what I did. I
Yeah.
created or it wasn't NBA, it was WWE 2K or whatever. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna create a super wrestler, and I did. And I'm gonna tell you right now, the game is boring when
Yeah.
you just can get, because it's designed. Their games are built to make you either spend a lot of time grinding or just spend the $20-$30 to get the points you need. It's insidious because it's designed that way. It's designed to make you it's designed to make you suffer. It's
Yeah.
designed to be hard. It's
Yeah.
designed. They made it that way. It's not cool. I don't like it.
Yeah. Yeah. I
But,
reckon.
what are you going to do,
And paraphrasing some of the famous words of John Riccatello, if you don't have microtransactions in your game, what the hell are you thinking?
Yeah. I
Oh
mean,
boy.
look, I'm not saying it's okay. Look, listen, okay? I understand that they're trying. Look. 2K is a publicly traded company in their country. They need to get paid.
Yeah. Where's 2K
All right.
located at?
Here I can Wikipedia it. I'm pretty sure 2K, 2K, the company. No, sorry, it's an American company, and it's a
Oh.
subsidiary of Take-Two Interactive, which itself is a American company.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, they're publicly traded. They're a publicly traded company with Nasdaq and TTWO and the S&P 500. So basically, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
and here are the subsidiaries of 2K. There's of Take-Two. There's 2K, Dynamics. I didn't write that. Ghost Story Games, NBA 2K League, 50%. They own 50% of that. Nordis, Private Division, Rockstar Games, Social Point, and Zynga. I guarantee the vast majority of their money comes from Zynga
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
because of those microtransactions. So if they can get microtransactions with other shit, why,
Yeah. Any case, congratulations to Overwatch 2. You are not the worst game on Steam. You are among the worst, but you are not the worst.
Yes, you are not the pimp of the year, sir. He's the pimp of the year.
Yeah, but I follow that story. It's just, man, these companies are never gonna. They're gonna shutter their doors before they learn. So it's just how it is apparently. But got any free topics?
I mean, you kind of got the one that I was going to talk about, which was, it turns out that Ratchet and Clank, the new one, that we're like, we can only do this with the power of the PS5 and their direct access. I was like, yeah, that sounds like bullshit to me. But look, I don't have a PS5. Every time I try to go get one, the shit's sold out. I have a PS4, I have an Xbox Series X, I have a gaming PC, I have a Switch. I think that's good enough. If they do a PS5 revision, I might get that because they might be able to make more of that than the other one. But my point is this, okay? Like, it just seems kind of weird to me that, like, and I'm looking at this game, and I'm like, it's a Ratchet and Clank game. It's not doing anything that profoundly different than any other fucking Ratchet and Clank game. There's no real special effects. So I'm like, oh man, that only could have been done on a PS5. That's the problem with this generation. There isn't a single fucking game on any platform. Okay, Starfield, but that's because Bethesda didn't want to optimize the code, and it's easier for it to pull assets directly from the SSD and using that direct storage shit than what Sony's doing, which is their equivalent of direct storage for Ratchet and Clank. But it's like there's not a game on these consoles where I'm like, oh my god, this game could have only been done on next-gen hardware. Not a single one. Even Tears of the Kingdom is not really a next-gen game.
Yeah. No,
really, they call this a 9th gen. It really should be called Gen 8.5. So that's really what it is. This is generation 8.5 because no one and Nintendo is going to take it up to 8.75 because the rumors is that the Nintendo's next hardware is going to have the power of a PS4 or an Xbox One.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's fine for a handheld.
Yeah.
But, and it means that you'll probably what you'll probably have happen on Nintendo's X hardware is that they'll probably have a performance mode. Like when it's in handheld mode, it'll probably be in a performance mode if it's still a hybrid. And when it's docked, it'll probably be a performance mode where it's like you get better performance.
Yeah.
And probably upgraded graphical fidelity. Now, personally speaking, I would rather Nintendo just make a traditional home console again because the compromises in order to have it be portable aren't worth the sacrifice to me, but I'm in the minority. Okay, I'm a Nintendo Pro consumer, so that's a different level. That's a different group of gamer. Okay, than like Nintendo's going after those casual people who don't care. They don't care that they have a game in handheld mode and on their home when it's docked, it's running like between 45 and 60 frames per second. In handheld mode, it's running 1723.
Yeah.
They don't care. This is acceptable. This is fine. Me, I'm like, no. Take that shit and go someplace else with it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. People are mad. Here's my free topic. People are mad that Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be exclusive to the Xbox, and I'm just shaking my head wondering, really? You guys didn't see this coming?
I only have 3 words to say to that statement. No shit, Sherlock.
Exactly.
Let's keep it 100% real, okay? What incentive does Microsoft have to put a single-player first-party game on their competitor's platform?
Exactly.
Why would they do that?
Yeah. Why would
you screw your and seeing the success they're seeing with Starfield, what incentive do they have to do that anyway? Especially now. I mean, look, yeah. Microsoft spent $12 billion acquiring ZeniMax Studios, which includes Bethesda and all the shit underneath them, so that they could put games on other people's shit. Okay, yeah, all right, yeah, sure, yeah, I believe that. Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yep.
Yeah, that's like, yeah, I married this woman, put a ring on it. Went to the court of law and had a license read over it, so any children we have will get our combined assets. Blah blah blah, yakety smackety. I put my name also that someone else can sleep with my wife.
Yeah.
Have children. That's basically what Sony fans are essentially saying. It's like, well,
Yeah.
I want to sleep with your wife. Wait a second, but I married her though. That she when she was single, she was dating, but now I married her. I put a ring on it. Means this is look. You see, this is mine. This is all mine. This is look. You turn around, baby. You see that ass? See how tight it is? That's mine.
Oh,
hey, baby, jump.
man.
You see those tatas jiggling? Those are mine. They belong to me. And yet Sony fans are like, oh, we want to play these. Look, hey, you got to get an Xbox or a PC, because you know those games are also going to hit PC. So it's not like they're gating it behind a brick wall like Nintendo, where most of those games like. And here's how assholish Nintendo is. They get on you if you have the original game and you get it on PC.
Yeah.
They go up your ass. I mean, what type of bullshit is that?
Yeah, it's like, bam.
They're like, oh, you can't be able. You should. Why are you playing this game? Like, why are you downloading this game? Well, because I own the game and I could rip it myself, but I don't have access to a ripper. So a Switch ripper. So I have a copy. I just downloaded a copy of it because I already have the game. What's your point? You're a pirate. Don't do that. It's like, yeah, but I gave you $60 to $70 for the game, though. I already bought. You got your money. And here's the thing: if I already have a copy of the game, okay, I bought the game, okay, or digitally downloaded it, whatever, and then I have a copy that I play on my PC. I didn't steal a sale from you. You got the sale. I just have a digital version of the game that I'm playing on another device.
Yeah.
That's the video game industry is so far beyond, even behind the movie industry. Because I remember, like, movies now, like, if you get, like, the Blu-ray or the Ultra HD versions of games, like,
yeah,
they'll give you a digital version of the movie.
Yeah, they'll give you a DVD,
like, you'll go and be like,
version. It's like,
yeah, you get the Blu-ray, the Ultra HD, and I mean, sometimes if you get the Ultimate Edition, they'll give you behind the scenes shit. Like little documentaries about the making of the movie and shit. It's like, oh, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Video games are just like, oh no. I mean, I think that should be a standard thing. It's like, oh, you bought this game, you also get a digital code where you can do whatever you want to with it. Now, here's the thing. I know people say, piracy! Put a individual code on those digital versions of games, like a little identifier mark. So then if someone uploads it to a piracy site, they can track who that shit was sold to and be like, oh, why is your game that you bought on this date, on this card, to this person, why is it on piratecove.x? What's that over there? Like, that's all they have to do. But what they shouldn't do is, like, basically this is the hallmark of an inappropriate response. Instead of focusing on a few people who are fucking up, they're gonna punish everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody got to get punished.
Yeah. Everybody's got to get it.
Like, it's and I understand we're losing so much to piracy. Yeah, but you're not, though, because they've done studies and they found out that like piracy, software piracy doesn't substantially hurt like video game companies.
Yeah.
And there's been some things where they've said, well, it might actually help them a little bit because some people will pirate a game and be like, oh, I like that game, and when they get money, they buy the shit.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, I've done that a few times when it comes to certain stuff. Like, yeah, this is pretty good. Looks like I'm gonna buy it.
So I don't understand this. Oh, everyone should be, no one can do anything. Everything should be. I'm like, look, calm down, bro. Calm down and stop being such, like they have this very like, everyone's got to suffer for a few people type of, everyone's got to suffer because of a few people. And I personally don't like that. I've never liked that.
Yeah.
Because it's the hallmark of just bad, it's the hallmark of bad, management, bad PR.
Yeah.
But hey, yeah, what do they care? They're gonna do whatever they want to.
Yeah.
What do they care? But yeah, as far as like them like, oh well, why can't we play it? Because it's a first party studio now.
Yeah. Exactly.
They don't have to. They don't have to. It's kind of like if let's say you owned a lot, you bought some land, okay, and before the land was bought, it was basically like public use land, or not public use, but like the people who owned it really didn't really give a shit if people went and fished in that little lake that was on the land, okay. They were like, whatever, it's not hurting anybody. They're not overfishing. They're not being egregious with fishing. And then someone buys that land and says, no, you can't come on my land and fish in my lake because I bought the land. It's mine. And then you get mad that they're not letting you go on their land and use their shit that they bought. They bought it. They spent the money on it. That's basically what Sony fans are doing.
Yeah.
And it's just sad, because if there ever was a company that needed a fucking win, it's Microsoft with the Xbox. They're like honest Gil from The Simpsons. Honest Gil needs a sale. It's like, I need some help. Please help me out. Honest Gil needs some help.
Yeah.
That's my own personal opinion. That's all I had to say. I'm gonna leave it alone.
Well, I think we're just gonna shut everything down. Shut the show down for tonight.
All right.
So, want to give you a sign off and we'll call it a night.
Sure. This is Mr. Red Fox, owner proprietor of BS Busters. We have a cast tomorrow, 7:30 to 8:30. It might go a little bit longer, might end faster. I have no idea what we're going to be talking about. I'm pretty sure we will definitely be going over some interesting things with interesting people. So we are going to talk about some cool stuff, so that's going to be interesting. With that being said, I'm thinking the big topics we'll probably go over will be, I haven't put them in my feed yet, but I'm looking to Aiden, the JRPG Ayuden Chronicles 100 Heroes has an official release date. what we're definitely gonna hit the Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart is faster on PC than PS5, even without direct storage. We're gonna go over that. That's gonna be fun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. Embracer Group is a grim warning about consolidation in gaming, so that'll probably be the big discussion topic. Is like why it's not good for all these companies getting bought up.
Yeah, I don't think it's a good idea either. So, that should be also like very interesting topic, especially the Embracer Group one.
Yeah, it's gonna be some good stuff. So that being said, that's all I'm gonna say. Peace. So yeah.
This is Kenoshi Abominita here with another Project Console. Times moved to 7:30 Eastern Standard Time Tuesday nights. So